What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Force Strategy Gaming and game number 2 here between Liquid's Jinro and EG's IdrA. This time we are here on Terminus RE, IdrA spawning in the 6 o'clock position as our red Zerg player, and then over here in the 9 o'clock, Liquid's Jinro as the blue Terran player. So yes, this is game number 2 in the series here between Jinro and IdrA. IdrA managing to win last game with some just very nice harass and aggression with his Mutalisk. He was really able to keep Jinro from doing too much damage. We did see a lot of attempted harass from Jinro. He managed to open up with some very strong Blue Flame Hellion harass, dropping inside of the main and then moving down and hitting the natural expansion. But unfortunately for Jinro, the major problem was that after that initial harass, he really wasn't able to get that much more effective damage done to IdrA. And IdrA was able to consistently harass with his Mutalisk, especially once he climbed up to very strong numbers. I think the major issue is that Jinro kind of gave IdrA a little too much breathing room. After that first strong hit, he wasn't able to keep up that consistent, effective damage against IdrA. And he gave IdrA lots of time to work up to that very large death cloud of mutas. We saw at one point sitting at a total of 40 mutas as IdrA moved into Jinro's main. And at that point, Jinro was busy defending his third, and he just took so much damage, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And proved to be pretty bad in all honesty. Now, we can see IdrA appears to be going for 15 hatch, no spawning pool yet, so he'll be dropping down that hatchery at 15 supply, and actually no, we'll be going for as late as a 16 hatch, in fact. At the same time, moving out to that 9 o'clock position, he will be scouting out Jinro right away. He'll be walking straight up in and just trying to get a little bit of information as he's inside of Jinro's main base. We'll just follow that guy along. And again, let me know what you guys think of, trying to do the commentary using these mouse keys to kind of follow things along in the middle of battles. Because again, in the past, there'd be a fight going on, and I just kind of hit the side of the, I'd be hitting the side of the screen to push the camera over, and that may be a little too jerky for some people. So let me know what you think about trying to move with a little bit of a smoother camera angle, and if I'm kind of doing it effectively or not. Right now, Jinro scouting out the main base of IdrA, moving straight on in. He's spotting the pool, looking for that extractor as well, and as we can see, IdrA still has not come out with that extractor, holding back a little while longer, finally dropping it, but again, trying to drone up as hard as possible in the early game. Back over here inside of the main base of Jinro, looks like he did manage to take care of that drone. Actually, no, the drone did manage to escape. Very interesting. I'm not really even sure where it went. I guess it doesn't really matter. But anyways, we got a Marine moving across the map right now for Jinro. He is making his way straight onto IdrA's base. We also have an SCV down over here, so we may be seeing some bunker harass. And there it is. Jinro opening up with the bunker harass. And let's see how IdrA is able to respond, pulling down with a few of his drones. He's actually moving to try to engage that Marine, and then also a couple of drones moving on down to try to take care of that bunker here and prevent Jinro from completing that build. And let's see what happens. We got 2 Marines now moving down. And here is the SCV, just barely, wasn't able to finish that. I thought he was nice and safe, tucked away in that little corner by that Vespene geyser, but unfortunately that did not work out for him. Marines forced to push back right now. You got another Marine moving on through as well, so hopefully Jinro scoops that one up and heads back home with it. And here comes that expansion. Jinro will be dropping that expansion right at his natural instead of starting to build it inside of his main. And then he is also, as we can see, moving into the reactor factory, which of course will allow him to pump out those double Hellions early on. A couple of Zerglings moving across the map, and we'll be chasing down the one Marine. Jinro at a loss, unfortunately, will be losing that Marine pretty easily. So IdrA trying to get that scouting information, sending in the one Zergling, and let's see what he manages to see here with the one Zergling. Is he going to scout out the expansion? Yes, he does. Gets just enough vision there to scout out the expo of Jinro. Jinro a little bit with a forward Marine, finally pulling back with that. We've got those Zerglings for IdrA maintaining map control over here. IdrA droning up as expected. He does have one spine crawler coming on through for a little bit of early game defense, and here comes that metabolic boost as well. So at the moment, we'll just be droning up, working on a very strong economy as we do see Jinro open up with those 2 Hellions, switch things up, and then move right into Blue Flame. So same exact style of opening here from Jinro, opening up with those 2 Hellions, getting map control, working into Blue Flame, Hellion, Marine, and I do expect that starport to come very soon as he works down into Medivacs as well to try to do a little bit of drop harass. But here come the Hellions right now, moving into that natural expansion. Zerglings trying to push on through to try to engage them. Hellions need to be a bit careful. Zerglings get us around with that Queen, and a bit of damage able to get done, and unfortunately now those Hellions are trapped in the corner there, and they're really not going to be able to escape as long as IdrA's paying attention to it. And here we go, Hellions trying to move back in, and very nice shot there on these Zerglings, managing to take them all out in a little bit of micro. Jinro able to do a bit more damage, but those Hellions, oh, one escaped with 5 kills. Beautiful, beautiful job there, Hellion. Back to the middle of the map, should be grabbing a tower instead of heading straight back to Jinro's base just so we can see what's going on. And never mind, actually deciding not to even bother, just going straight back home, maybe because he feels like he wants to repair, or he's just a little scared and wants to hide in the corner. All things are possible, and what does that say? Tonight's movie is Brokeback Mining Station. Oh my gosh, I have never seen that before. That is ridiculous. All right, so back over here, we do have IdrA with control of the center of the map now. Since that Hellion decided not to stop, Blue Flame just about finished, and actually Jinro doing something a little bit differently this time. We can see working his way up into some siege tanks, and very notably, there is no starport anywhere, no starport whatsoever. So instead of going for that medevac dropping her ass, he's going into Blue Flame Hellion's Marine and tank. So is there going to be a timing push? That is what I'm expecting from Jinro here, and hopefully we'll see if that's going to be effective or not. We've got the combat shield coming out, siege tech coming out as well. So if we will be seeing Jinro push, it's not going to be until those two things are finished. Back over here for IdrA, coming out with that Spire, actually right at his natural expansion. That's a little concerning though, because here come those Hellions, and actually, oh, trying to sneak up into the main, but unfortunately pushed back there, and we'll be trying to continue to move down right now. Queens moving up to engage, doing what they can. Spielings trying to move down as well. Hellions do make it back home though. Back over here for Jinro, again, continuing up that research. He's got that siege research coming out. He's got that combat shield, and he's just churning out these Marines and tanks right now. And this is very, very interesting. I'm really looking forward to seeing how effective this is going to be for Jinro, and if IdrA will be able to defend against it. Baneling Nest also coming on through. That Spire almost finished. We do have IdrA moving into his 3rd expansion. He does have the Evolution Chamber coming out, getting that level 1 upgrades. In terms of upgrades, what do we have going on here? Jinro is still at 00. He's just now working his way up into an engineering bay. He also realizes right about now is the time when mutas are going to be getting very close to being on the board. Unfortunately for Jinro, he's going to need to defend against that, obviously, by getting up some turrets. So that's the reason for getting out that engineering bay, which is being built right over here, and then he should start laying down a few turrets for fear of those mutas that will be coming very soon. But here we go. Here's the push right now coming out from Jinro. We got Spielings moving around those Hellions, and unfortunately though, because of the bulk of the force, Zerglings forced to push back. But here we go. Jinro preparing to move on up now. How is IdrA going to be prepared for this? I'm a little bit concerned for him. It doesn't appear to have enough forces right now. This is a very strong and very scary push coming out for Jinro. He's got siege tech, bunch of Marines there defending those tanks as well, and the Hellions in the front. We've got a couple of mutas pushing forward, trying to snipe out those tanks plus those Marines. Unfortunately not able to do so. Now that stim research not going to be ready for quite a while, so those Marines aren't nearly as effective, but at the same time there aren't as many muta numbers. Tank shelling out right now at the spine crawlers. We do have mutas moving actually to deal with reinforcements. This is very wise of IdrA. Push on down with those mutas, try to take out any reinforcements as they move their way on across the map, but he's just going to have to deal with this constant shelling that we're seeing from Jinro right now. We've got a bunker coming up as well as a missile turret, so a very defensive position here. The big problem though is that IdrA, with the control with those mutalisks, will stop any reinforcements from pushing in at all, and he will be, of course, trying to target fire down these tanks. Unfortunately though, Jinro is paying enough attention to prevent that from happening. We do have some Queens, and there was an attempted push there, but Jinro did have enough to deal with it, and actually will be repairing that siege tank as well. So Jinro just keeping up this constant aggression. We've got those Hellions pushing forward to take care of some Zerglings as well, and oh my gosh, this mutas just trying to find that right position to push on in. Not sure they're going to be able to, and here we go, trying to engage. There we go, managed to drop one tank there of Jinro. So Jinro right now just down to those 2 tanks at the front. He doesn't really have a ton of anti-air left, and that's a major concern for Jinro because he needs enough Marines to be able to stop those mutas from doing too much damage. Otherwise, he's just going to get shelled out by those mutas. Once those Marines get dropped, they're just going to take care of the tanks, and then that will be that. That missile turret certainly helping a bit, and here's some reinforcements coming out for Jinro. Now that he's made a large enough of a force, he's not too concerned about those mutas anymore, so he's going to be continuing up this aggression. Jinro trying to box in IdrA as much as possible, and I'm not sure how effective this is going to be. There we go. Hellions moving down to roast some of those Zerglings and forcing them to move on into the tank fire, and that's an unfortunate situation there for IdrA. IdrA trying to snipe out that tank. He does manage to do so, but managed to take a few muta loss there as well, and here we go. Those Marines pushing forward. They now have stim pack, so they are able able to stim up and be that much more deadly against those mutas. IdrA realizing stim is there, needs to be very careful about how he decides to engage those Marines there, and this is a very scary position indeed. He should be trying to break down these back rocks to allow him to actually deal with this a little bit better and try to get us around as much as possible. And there we go again, IdrA trying to go to the center of the map to stop those reinforcements for Jinro. Jinro is now pushing down with those Hellions and again trying to roast this expansion, trying to do as much damage as possible. There's no mining going on at that third expansion, and Jinro keeping up this aggression just consistently. He does have a medevac in play as well, some more medevacs coming out, and this is a problem right now for IdrA. He is just taking so much damage at this expansion, and he's not mining from that third at all. More Marine reinforcements pushing from that side. Here we go, trying to get full surround now, pushing with those Speedlings and Banelings, trying to break that containment. IdrA doing so much damage, but there's still quite a few Marines left, and that's going to force IdrA to call the GG. Alright guys, that was game number 2 here between IdrA and Jinro. Jinro managing to win this one. We will be moving on to game number 3 in just one moment. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.